Hello and welcome to my review for Love, Simon, a teen romance comedy thing. And it's a film that had a bit of a buzz about it when it came out because it was this, the first major studio-backed film that has a gay character as the central character of the film. I'm not sure if that's entirely true, or even if it is, that was kind of the selling point of the film, that it was this coming out teen movie, and then it was about a gay kid played by Nick Robinson. Simon, based on a book, is one of those kind of young adult things. And so I went to see it because I like teen movies, and it's interesting how my enjoyment of teen movies has kind of morphed over the years. When I was maybe 8, 9, 10, it was like, oh, teen movies, like this is what high school is going to be like, and then it's like, oh, no it isn't. And then when I'm in high school, I like to watch them to imagine what high school could be like. It's almost like a fantasy to me when you see these American teen movies where everyone's got these best friends and these really tight groups and stuff. But then again, that's me not really ever having a really tight group of best friends, like those true, amazing friends that some people do have. So it was always like almost like a fantasy film to me, but I really enjoyed it. And now, as a 30-year-old, I look back on it and I go, oh, I wish I was back in high school again. So it's kind of, there's been this kind of staggered appreciation for teen movies. I don't know what it is, I just enjoy them. So I went to see this one, and I fell in love with it. How much should I even really go into the fact that it's a gay romance, I think it is important because it's about a gay kid who's trying to come out. He hasn't come out yet. That's kind of the main hook of the movie, is that he's gay and he hasn't told anyone, not his friends, not his family. And so you get to have those moments that build up throughout the film where, okay, he's going to tell his mum that he's gay. He's going to tell his parents. He's going to tell, one of his friends. Which friend is he going to tell? Who's he going to entrust with this information? And he's in high school. He's got a group of really close friends. And there's a kid in his high school who posts on this kind of message board for the whole school anonymously that he's gay, and he hasn't come out publicly. And his name's Blue. That's kind of his code name. So Simon is like, oh my God, this he's just like me. So he emails him and says, hey, I'm just like you too. And he gives himself a fake name. And they message back and forth. It feels very believable and relatable in this age. Even me, growing up in that kind of just when instant messaging and things like emails and things were becoming a more readily available way to communicate with people and to start relationships. That's how my relationship started with Connie, and here I am nearly 10 years later. So it's one of those things that for my generation I think is something that doesn't feel strange at all and feels very relatable and believable. Anyway, so Simon kind of takes a shine to this anonymous gay kid in school. He doesn't know who he is though. That's the whole, again, the hook of the movie. Well, there's two hooks I think. One is that Simon wants to come out, doesn't know how to do it, when to do it, who to tell it to, how to say it, but also he wants to know who Blue is. And there are all these guys in school and all these clues of the things that they're saying between these emails and stuff as to who is it. And I loved just the mystery of it. Not that it's a great mystery film, but there was that element of it. But there was also like the twisted and tangled romantic relations of his friends. He has guy friends and girlfriends, and so that there's lots of like who likes who and who likes the other. And there's lots of little beats in the film, kind of silent moments where you'll see a character just looking at another with a kind of a longing look or a meaningful look, but you're not quite sure how to decipher it. Does that mean that she really likes him, or she likes him as a friend, and vice versa? And I just loved how that all intersected to the point where I wasn't just caring about the main character, I was caring about the side characters and who they were going to end up with, or if anyone, and who they really liked. And there's another kid who finds out Simon's secret, basically. He becomes the first person to know that he's gay, and he uses that information to blackmail him, to help him get it on with his friend, his girlfriend. So I liked all the interactions between all the main kind of kid characters, and again their entangled love lives and so on. I just really enjoyed that aspect of it. But then there's the emotional punch of the film, and I don't know what it was, but there was something so sweet about it, something so charming about Simon's kind of tumultuous journey throughout this entire film, where he was going, and again the mystery of who Blue was, and how it was all coming out, and it all felt very relatable and believable to me, just as far as kids go and the way that we interact through social media and things like that, but also just on a human level, and how this guy was tasked with coming out to his parents, and how that went. And a lot of people are talking about, or were talking about when this film came out, the coming out scene, or more specifically the scene where he has a heart-to-heart with his mother, played by Jennifer Garner, who's very good in the film. And she says, there's very loosely paraphrasing, but she says something like, I had a feeling, you know, over the past few years, that you've kind of been holding your breath, you know, and I wanted to say something, but I thought maybe you should work it out on your own. But now you just need to know that you can finally exhale. You know, it's out there. And I really loved that scene, but even more impressive to me was the less showy, perhaps, scene between him and his father. And I loved how his dad, played by Josh Duhamel, who's a great actor, I loved him since I saw him in Scenic Route, which is a really underseen, underrated film from about 5 years ago. Anyway, I always just loved him from that film, so it was great to see him here in a more mainstream film. And I thought he was great as Simon's dad, but you get the kind of impression of him as a very fun dad, you know, a caring one, an emotional one, but a very fun dad. And he's kind of throwing these things at his son throughout the film about women, like, oh, you know, looking up women or whatever. So obviously you can see that where the joke is paying off or whatever, that his son's gay and isn't interested in women. But I love how he took that so hard. You know, he's like, I can't believe I was saying that stuff about women to you, and I should have known, you know, I should have sensed it as your dad. And I thought he gave a fantastic performance. It wasn't overplayed, and I found that scene more touching to me. I guess it's because I'm a guy. And again, I thought his performance was really, really good, really heartfelt, and one of the best parts of the film. At the end, I cried. Now, this is the most important part of the film to me, is that I actually cried. Now, I've never cried at a film, never in my entire life, to where it's like, you know, like actually kind of, you know, like a vocal reaction. You know, that's never happened. I don't think it ever will. And I can't tell you how many times I've welled up or got choked up. You know, that feeling in the throat, the kind of the you know, the tears forming in the tear ducts. But to actually have tears fall down the cheek, where you just can't stop it. That's happened to me 3 times in my entire life in a cinema, and maybe 2 or 3 times in general at home. And this time, I just couldn't help it. I was so bought into the whole story that I couldn't help it. And man, I can't speak highly enough of a film that does that to you. You know, and it doesn't matter what kind of film it is. You know, it doesn't matter if it's some kind of, you know, artsy kind of, you know, masterpiece that's just so amazing it makes you cry, or if it's just a teen movie from a major studio. You know, for me, if it hooks you in and it makes you feel like that, and you know, I couldn't stop it. And I think I'm getting better, you know, as I get older, with not feeling so self-conscious. Well, oh, I can't let these tears fall when there's people around. But yeah, I didn't care. I was so wrapped up in it, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It is, it's in my top 5 now. I don't think it's one of the best films of the year, you know, but I just loved it that much, and was so, again, hooked in by the end that I cried, and I just thought that was great. And you know, I'm sure for a lot of gay people this is going to be a really important film. A friend of mine, Ross, is gay, and he absolutely loves this film. He keeps going to see it again and again. You know, see on Facebook, I'm going to see it for a 3rd time, 4th time. You know, it's great to see people having a film for them in that sense. That's a cool part of it, but to strip all that away, I just love the film for the film. It wasn't just a romance where, you know, you want someone to get together with the other person. It's also getting together with them, but also him finding out who this mystery person was, but also coming out as a gay person and being accepted by people. And there's lots of great little beats. Like, there's already a gay guy in school who's come out, and so when Simon gets outed, you know, things get a little bit, you know, that they both get teased together. And the one guy who's already come out as gay says, you know, yeah, you know, one gay guy's fine. Once you got 2, that's when there's a real problem. You know, again, loosely paraphrasing, but I loved all those little details about the film that you know, that they were funny. You know, there's a sequence, kind of a fantasy sequence, where you have all the straight characters in the film coming out to their parents as straight. Like, Mom, I got something to tell you, I'm straight. And she's like, oh God, Jesus, no. Yeah. So it pokes fun at that in a nice way. But overall, I loved the film. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely will watch it again and again. Like I said, I'm a sucker for these movies, but I think it really did that part well. And I also thought Nick Robinson, the lead, was great. I remember him in Kings of Summer a few years ago. He was really good in that. But yeah, he's great, and loved the film. And even again, the side characters I thought were really well performed by most of the actors who played them. It was a home run as far as I'm concerned. So there we go. That's my thoughts and my review for Love, Simon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
He's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.